Okay, welcome back to D&D. So, last time we played, you had managed to interact with the ghost of the Emberborn ancestor who brought you into a facsimile of the past, and from there you were able to act as his battle sworn and able to help him win the duel. Not actually, but enough that it able to put his spirit to rest, and you were able to, using that, uh, complete the task that the Dwarven clan representatives had put out in front of you. So you are left off in the graveyard. The ghost has departed. You can no longer feel his presence.
Do we still have the papers, or like did those go with the memory?
Those went with the memory. These, yeah, it wasn't exactly like getting pulled into the
Yeah.
past. It was more like an advanced illusion, is what you kind of got from it.
Yep.
A reliving.
Uh, if I didn't say it last session, Graham is going to write down what each of the scrolls used to get his battle sworn to betray him.
Yeah.
Or not join him. I guess I'll write it into something resembling a report.
Okay.
Which Graham will complete, and then, assuming it's not too late, we can go turn it in.
It is not. While it is getting near to the end of the day, you are still... The offices are still open. People have not left yet.
Yeah, so...
All right. You all head to the sea tower?
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay. Well, for the, I think, second time in 2 days, you arrive back at the, actually, third time in 2 days, you arrive back at the sea tower. The guards see you, recognize you, let you in. You are in the courtyard of the sea tower. What would you all like to do?
We'll go to the Dwarven Enclave part again.
Okay. You have to wait about 20 minutes for them to finish up some work, but eventually you are ushered into the room. You see the Dwarven representatives there. Most of them are looking at you with a little bit more of, you would guess, not a pleasant demeanor.
Graham is just going to hand out copies of the report to each of them. Just isn't saying shit. He is furious.
They all take the report. They start talking to each other in Dwarven. At which point the oldest member, that would be Vorbin Silverbelt. Well, you took a somewhat unorthodox route to completing this request of ours, but you did in fact complete it. We will uphold our end. We will grant mercy to your associate Sathara. As far as the Dwarven clan are concerned, she is absolved of her crimes against us. And he just takes like a big stamp and he just kind of stamps a paper with it. And he folds it up and he hands it over to you. There you are.
Thank you. You all have a good day now.
You as well.
And I guess again, because What's-Her-Bucket wanted something to embarrass the other guy.
Yes.
Was his ancestor the one that had the shittiest of excuses?
The excuses were, here we are.
And Graham put that in the report, and all of them got it.
Yeah, so you
that was very much deliberate.
Yeah. The one who... So, the shittiest reasons were probably just the person who was promised power and advancement within the Winter Colony administration, and the person who was trying to settle an old feud with the Emberborns. It was Underforge who did the promise of power, and Frostriver who did the old feuds. Sylvina Underforge is the half-dwarf, half-elf representative who's been more friendly with you all?
What was that? I couldn't. I like heard that.
So yes, it is Sylvina Underforge. She was the half elf, half dwarf woman who was more friendly with the party. She was willing to give you a lot more leeway and a lot of help. Her ancestor was the one who took the just advancement and broke his oath for that one specific reason. Just wanted power.
Yeah, she's half elf, half short. Is she like taller than the rest of them?
Yeah.
just thinking like off the damn.
Yeah, she's about 6 inches taller than the rest of them. Or at least 6 inches taller than the next tallest one.
So
I guess I'm gonna just insight everybody's reactions because they all got the news at the same time.
Okay, go ahead.
As soon as I push the button, as soon as it loads up my sheet.
what the
Graham's
hell?
pretty pissed off at all of them, so there you go.
Ooh, well,
Wink at him.
I do have ostensibly a halfling. Pick him up, rub his shiny head.
That one.
Cool. That's better.
they are attempting to maintain their composure. However, it is clear to see they're not particularly happy with the report that you put in front of them. But from the fact that they were able to stamp the pardon for Sathara, they are not, going to break the deal they made with you.
Well, Graham is going to just leave.
Okay.
I believe you're gonna go see the Duke now, right?
The Duke, or do we have to go through Gale first, or
No,
to the Duke to report our success with the dwarves, then Gale?
You have to report to the Duke because the Duke, if you got the pardon for her, the Duke can exercise his power.
Cool. So let's do that.
If you don't, Gale will just
chop.
chop.
Okay, so Graham will take their signed, stamped, don't kill this lady thing and go and request an audience with the Duke. Or at least send a message if he's too busy.
Yeah, I will. Well, if you're going to meet him, I will be at the guild hall because I'm technically not supposed to support you on this.
Okay. So
I
you
mean,
said... I'm sorry, go ahead.
I'm going to see the Duke.
No, I'm just saying. I acted neutral. I let him do everything, but I don't think I overstepped my bounds here.
Okay. All right. Graham sends the message to the Duke, and he actually gets a reply relatively quickly as he sends a messenger up, and then the messenger comes back down just a few minutes later. Is like, the Duke will be able to see you now. Follow me.
Graham will go see the Duke.
Okay. He brings you up to the top floor. You see the Duke at his desk. Guards let you into the room. Door closes. Take you have good news.
Well, such as it is, we got the dwarves to agree to show clemency, so it should just be a matter of state now.
He takes the actual reprieve that you got from the dwarven clans. Okay, well, that gives me a little bit more leeway here. Very well, I will exercise my power as Duke of Viderheim, Count of Vaxval, to provide clemency for your associate, Zathara. I cannot get her entirely off of the charges against her. She will have to serve some time at the Rock, but she is no longer going to be executed.
How would we go about getting time served for helping us in the many things going on, like those pirates come to mind?
Well, there's no real work release program, if that's what you're wondering.
Something like that.
Look, I can get her 5 years on the Rock. It's not the worst thing you've ever experienced. She just has to do some labor there. I can put in a little bit of leeway for her so she's able to get one of the easier positions, and then 5 years for a half elf isn't the worst thing in the world, and she can leave. I'm pressing my power a little bit more than I strictly have access to, but
Fair enough.
you did me a good favor in getting the caster unit for Talva up and running, so I'm going to put my thumb on this a little bit more than I really would normally be able to.
Are we going to have to speak with Gale to make sure we don't cause problems between the two of you?
No. Gale is very dedicated to the law and the proper process of the way things should be done, and that is appreciative. However, I am the ultimate authority and the ultimate law within Viderheim, and you will need to defer to me. Any friction between us can be brushed aside, and more importantly, the civil war we're involved in is going to focus more of our attention on that. So I don't think Gale is going to be too upset for too long considering this whole Sithara situation.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Your Grace.
Thank you. Oh, and let's see here. He shuffles through some papers. There you go. This was some. You would ask me concerning a request for your god's worship on Viderheim.
Yeah.
I've approved the paperwork for that. It's all been signed.
Thank you very much.
You are free to start setting up temples and shrines as you see fit. Within Vaxfall itself, you would need to get the permission from other counts to do it within other cities, but beyond that, it is all up to you.
All right. Thank you very much. I will look to that directly.
Mm-hmm. And if you're interested in the letter of pirate hunting, I can provide that for you as well, as we have been doing heavy recruiting for that situation.
It's certainly one of our next steps.
Yep, grab that letter.
Yep.
You're not there. You went to the guild hall.
I know. I'm doing other things. But he knows he knows to grab the letter.
Otto's just shouting really, really loud.
I'm like at the top of the guild hall. Make sure you get the letter, Marquis, bitch.
Okay. Graham will get authorization to privateer.
Okay. He signs it. He hands it over, and you could actually before he hands it over, he actually puts a big stamp on it as well, and then he hands it over. Keep this safe. Definitely make sure you do not lose that. That is going to give you full permission to hunt pirates. And it's going to give you full permission to hunt any enemies of Viderheim. That includes rebel
Otto's gonna
ships.
Otto's gonna yell, hell yes!
And that's going to give you authorization to even act as privateers against Zadoran ships, although I will mention that that is currently a more politically dicey situation. So, I thank you for your service. Oh, and do be sure to check for the bounties that we had on the various pirates. It should be posted all over the docks.
Will do.
Thank you, and have a good night.
You as well. And Graham will depart towards Windsong Manor, and I'm going to go use the bathroom.
Okay, and add an inspiration when you get back.
Whoa.
Yay. Alright, so we're just gonna assume he gets back?
Yeah, Graham eventually gets back. Did Graham go by
Right.
himself, or was he... I'm assuming Fiffle was with him.
I don't know.
Shadowed him like a shadow.
Okay.
A very
Didn't
short
go-
shadow.
So like honestly, like you do know that Otto was not really yelling like out the window, but
We're just joking, yeah.
I know. But sometimes people take that serious. Because that's probably something I would do. But they get back, I will get back, and they're probably sitting around the table eating or something. And I'm just gonna walk by each and every single one of them, and I am going to put pirate hats on every single one of them and throw a trench coat, a pirate coat on them.
Okay.
And I'll tell Hank to wake up, and I got him a pirate hat with stars on it, so he's a wizard pirate, the first of his kind.
All right. So I figure if you left well, you left before Graham, heading back to the guild hall, taking a detour to a hat shop.
Yep.
Uh, each,
What is it? That guy that got us the fancy warm clothes and the fancy stuff. I can't remember his name. We had like
uh,
that elf guy, I think.
you,
He did our clothing for us, like when we first met the Duke, and the
yes.
warm clothes when we went up north. That guy.
Okay. So yes, you returned. I believe that was Edelith's cousin, whose name is within my notes somewhere. I'd have to go and find
Yeah.
it. But
But that guy.
all right. So you swing by his shop, and we'll do the little interlude.
Yeah.
Ah, Sir Otto. It's been a while. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very good. Business has been excellent.
Good, good.
I've been
I,
busy getting uniforms ready.
excellent. Uniforms for what, if I may ask?
From my understanding, is the Civil War has been very good at requiring expansion of the army. So we've been
Oh
just
yeah, we're actually being drafted into that somewhat. We're gonna be getting a letter of marque.
wonderful. I suppose I'm not sure if I would particularly like that myself, but do you need a uniform?
No, I actually have something different. And for team building,
Mm-hmm.
could you make me some tricorns and some trench coats for the team?
Well, I mean, I have tricorns and trench coats already in stock. Did you want me to get a
Yeah.
special, bespoke coats and hats for you? It would take me a couple
For
of days to get those ready, and I'd also need the measurements.
no, but can you do a decoration on one of them? Put like a little crossbones for the pirate and some stars that indicate like a pirate wizard. He he will love it.
Yes, I suppose I can. Uh, each tricorn is going to run you 3 silver. The one that you would like customized would be 5 silver.
Okay, let's math that
The
real quick.
trench coats would also run you 2 silver each.
3, 5. I have just like brain farted how many people we actually have in here.
4, including yourself.
4.
And then Hank, of
8.
course. So he's the 5th. I don't know if you want to get him a trench coat.
No, he doesn't get a trench. I don't think he can wear a trench coat, can he?
I mean, you can drape a coat over him if you so desire, but
Yeah, we'll get him a tiny one. So that's 5.
yep.
Okay, 5 and
5 times 2, 5 times 4,
that's a gold.
plus 5.
8. That's 2 gold, 3 silver.
Let me do the math quickly. Let's see here. 2 times 4 is 8. 2 times 5
10.
is 10.
18.
It's 18. And an additional 5 is 23. So
So 2
2
gold.
gold and 3 silver.
Wow, I mathed. I mathed.
Yep.
Yes, I mathed. I'll give him 3 gold.
Thank you. He pulls out one of the tricorns and he takes off like little scraps of felt and fabric, and he makes a very quick and dirty skull and crossbones and stars, and he just stitches them on. And it takes him about 30 minutes to do all of this.
Yep.
And then he delivers to you 5 tricorns, one of them decorated with skull and crossbones and stars, and 5 trench coats, one of them being child-sized.
Okay, these are look great. Thank you, sir. And do you need anything from me? Like keep a lookout for anything when we're out there?
Oh, on the higher seas? I don't necessarily think so. Although I will admit the kind of blockade that has been going on has really cut down on my supply of silk.
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out for silk, and we'll see what we can do about the blockade.
Mm-hmm. Well, thank you, and do have a good night. I will actually be closing shop up shortly.
Sounds good. You have a good one too, buddy. And I will go out, and everybody gets a tricorn and a coat,
All right.
including Hank.
I think. What's this tricorn for?
You're a pirate now. You got a pirate tricorn.
Okay. I guess I'll wear these on our pirate ship.
Exactly.
Hank wakes up. Huh?
Hank, here, I got you a fancy hat.
Excellent.
You are the first of your kind, a wizard pirate.
He just kind of like slowly plops on his head. Ha! See? You know what you're about.
That's right. You're gonna be the most feared wizard pirate that ever did wizard pirate in this wizard pirate world.
Now I need a saber to stab my enemies, and a arcane focus to zap my enemies after I stab them.
You know what? We'll take one of the pirates' sabers.
Good. See, this is why I didn't eat your hands all those times when you were asleep.
I thought it was because you were asleep too.
I mean, it's a rich tapestry. Speaking of, and he immediately drifts off to sleep.
Has anybody thought about just making a fake hand that he chases around in circles?
Put a dead hand on a string.
Yeah, just exactly what I'm thinking.
All right.
Alrighty.
Well, would you like to do anything else?
I can't think of anything else off the top of my head. I think Jimmy and Jackson were getting like the ship outfitted, or I think Jimmy was, or was it not Jimmy? Jackson.
Yeah. While you're handing out these pirate hats, Jackson is at the table eating. Actually, you know what? You go to the actual Adventuring Guild.
Holla.
There's more snow, but yeah, I didn't bother updating the map. So,
It's so much effort.
I mean, it's not really. It's just
All the
as
green
you
and
are
white.
all eating at the table, Jackson kind of takes point. All right, well, you have your letter of marquee. Are you going to be going out onto the ocean soon?
Do we have any loose ends to pick up on? I can't think of any off the top of my head. Let me look at this sheet.
Well, we should probably take a little while to rest and resupply.
Yeah.
No, no one's going to force you to go out into the ocean until you're ready.
Let me see. We just need to pick up the bounties over at the docks of like pirates, but that we can grab that on the way to the boat, the ship.
Yeah, they put bounties up there, really around all sorts of ports of call. So you should be getting updated bounties every now and then. I can give you a full breakdown of everything I did with the ship.
Sounds good.
All right. Well, it used to be my ship until you stole it. So you're already halfway to being good pirates. All the work that was done on it, it's technically, I would say, a brand new ship. So you're going to need to name it. And you're also going to need it, needs to get a blessing, before it sets sail. So you're going to have to name it. You're going to have to get a bottle of champagne or something, and you got to smash it on the bow. That's vitally important. If you don't do that, your ship's going to fall into the sea.
Well,
Better likely write this down. Fall off the sea.
Well, it's your ship. Think about what you want to call it, and we'll get it all set. I got your crew. Got you 15 people who will crew the ship. Got to tell you, they're not the greatest quality. They're basically the dredges who were not able to get recruited or pressed because they weren't good enough. So you're basically people who are too young, too green, people who are too old, and criminals.
Oh, great.
But you know what? It's really just, they're your crew. Can't really get any more for than 15 on the ship there. Doesn't exactly support a tremendous amount of people. But if you take care of them, get them the experience, get them trained up, they'll actually, I think, turn into a pretty good crew. Okay. You also have to pay them, which reminds me, I gave them a day's wage already, so
1 day.
what?
that was a bit of a retainer for them, just to
Okay,
make sure they're
sorry.
still available.
How often do we have to pay them? Like, I know it. Like, what do they expect wages?
They will expect to be paid every time you actually land the ship at a port. So anywhere where there's a dock, you should expect to pay them. They're not great.
Write this down. Never dock the ship.
They might get a little, well, fucking mad about that. So, look, you're going to have to pay each of them a gold a day. So just write all that down. How much you got to pay them. And then you got to pay them all every time you dock. So you don't got to pay them while they're on shore. They ain't doing work for you then. But for every day you're traveling on the open ocean, you pay them the gold. You got to give it to them when you dock. If you don't have it, you're probably going to have to really say one hell of a speech, or else they might, leave. You also have to feed them. Typically people like that. 3 rations a day for every member of the crew. You can cut down to medium rations or low rations if you're really struggling. Wouldn't recommend it. Tend to get a little mad. I already got you all set up for a week's worth of rations for the 15. You're probably going to want to get some, keg of alcohol or something. Beer is always popular. If you want to spend a little more, they'll probably appreciate it. So go outfit the ship with one of those. Oh, and that does remind me. I did pay for that, so you owe me 37 gold and 5 silver.
Yeah, I'll give it to him.
Okay. All right. He takes the gold and the silver and he puts it in his pocket. The other thing you're going to need is officers for your ship. You're going to need a captain. You're going to need a first mate. You're going to need a quartermaster. Those 3 are the most important. You're also going to need a helmsman. You're going to need the gunner master. That's the guy who's going to tell the other guns how to actually fire, when to fire, where to. You probably want a boatswain. That's the guy who's going to fix the boat if it gets broken. You can get a boat repaired at every port typically, but if it's broken down in the middle of the ocean, that's not going to do any good. You're going to probably want a surgeon who's going to fix people up, after battle. You can probably recruit a couple of people as cannoneers who are going to be in essence, charge of each weapon on the boat. Right now, I got you 4 ballista, 2 to a side, so not great. I can get you kind of broken down cannon, maybe even 2 busted cannons. They're not in good quality, they ain't in good shape, but it'll hit a little harder than a ballista will.
It sounds like our first objective is going to be getting a stable and effective setup before we try gunning it into the pirates directly. Maybe do some odd jobs, go for some of those smaller bounties to build up the ship.
Yeah, that's not a bad idea. I mean, also, you can just really steal from pirate ships, You go track them down, get in a fight. Right now, you probably want to board the pirate ship, so you just make sure you pull up right next to it, jump on over, you kill the crew, and you take what was on it for yourself. Or, this is a real cheeky little maneuver that you can do. This is a fun one. You pretend to surrender, and then you kill them once they pull next to you.
Do we have lines to dual boarding, or are we just going to have to hope we've got good legs?
We can get you all sorts of stuff. There's ropes you can use to get over, boarding axes, whole planks you can just slap onto it. You just got to make sure you're close to the ship, within a couple dozen feet of it. More than 30, you're kind of risking it there.
What are the odds that the pirates are just going to try to board us immediately and take our stuff?
And they'll probably try and soften you up first. But after that.
I'm out of character thinking here as he didn't try that.
Well, he probably... I think he was in a bad position by the time we got to him in the first place.
Yeah. My crew was me, Jimmy, and like 5 other guys that you killed. We were on a skeleton crew.
They're likely
I don't-
not going to try to jump us unless they think they'll win. And if we are trying to board them, they'll probably know we expect to win if we board. So they're probably not going to try it unless they really have us worked over.
We expect to win all the time, Graham.
That has not been my experience.
Well, the crazy wizard isn't here anymore, so we expect to win all the time.
All right.
Otherwise, our boat would be on fire.
Well, time enough for that later.
I mean, from self-inflicted damage.
I know. Well, why don't we do a quick look about town, double check our finances, see if there's any last supplies we want to get, and then we can look to taking off soon. We might be able to take care of some other work if we've got a ship and we can go along the coast, especially now that it's winter. Might be able to make some money doing odd jobs, delivering stuff for non-military use, messages and whatnot, especially with the war on.
Yeah. I see Fern look around the corner and throw one of the tricorn trench coats at her.
How does Fern respond to that?
She doesn't.
Thanks.
She just puts it on.
Yeah.
She's a pirate bunny now.
Very punny.
I had a thought and I lost it. I hate it when that happens.
Mm.
Oh, we gave the mithril to Stone Snout, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how many days has it been?
Like
I think
one.
so tomorrow we should be able to technically go see him, right? Because I think it was 2 days.
I don't remember what he said.
Yeah, it says 2 days in the sheet.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we spend one more day in port, getting stuff ready, picking up
Yep.
side quests, getting supplies.
Yeah. Let's go grab the
Piffle declares himself in charge of ship's alcohol stores.
I will agree. I think Graham should be the one that does the taste though first.
I was gonna say, Graham, give me a list of specific requirements.
Necessary alcohol.
What does one roll for an alcoholism check?
The rest for the crew.
Honestly, alcoholics are very charismatic, so maybe do a performance or persuasion. I don't know.
I was gonna say either Constitution or Wisdom.
That's after your shit face. Constitution is after your shit face. Wisdom is I shouldn't do this, but I'm gonna do it anyway. I'm prepared for the actions.
How about a history check on account of Graham kind of getting a military academy training by a ghost, so he knows how they would ration alcohol for soldiers?
Sure.
Kind of adapt that to sailors.
I'm gonna look at Graham and tell him, there's probably a ghost on the ship anyway.
I'll let you know if there's a ghost on the ship.
All right.
Well, ask him some advice.
So yeah, Graham, you know that typically during military matters, soldiers would be given a drink of alcohol every day, and if they were expected to go into battle, they would be given another drink ration before the battle started to both give them a little bit of morale and also to kind of steady their nerves a bit.
Okay. Does Graham know how much a barrel of rum costs?
A barrel of...
You might not, but I do because I'm a tavern keep. And I'll just immediately just spout that out for you, whatever the number is.
Yeah, Otto probably does know that.
Yeah, that would run you about... The barrel would be 2 gold. The actual rum itself would be an additional 6 gold.
That's not bad. How much, how long would our crew size times daily drinks last 1 barrel?
Yeah, so 1 barrel holds 40 gallons of rum.
That's a lot of rum.
They're not drinking a gallon a day.
You don't have a huge
That's a
crew.
very merry crew.
Yeah, this would be about... You use this, like a ration of rum for them would be about like 1/4 gallon.
For a day?
Yeah, each person would need 1/4 of a gallon a day to stay happy.
Okay, and what's our total crew size?
15?
15. Yep.
Okay.
I'll let you math this because my brain, I did math earlier and that was too much. So they will need how many a day? 3 drinks?
Just one ration a day.
A quarter of a gallon is a quart of rum. That might be normal for pirates. I don't know. I'm just saying. Picture a quart of milk.
I think it's 3 gallons and 3 3/4 gallons a day.
All right. Well, let's see. 15 divided by 4. Yeah.
Ho, ho, ho.
And it's a 40-gallon. So basically, just multiply that by 4.
Like 12 or 13 days?
So
I'd say-
you get I think 160 out of 1 barrel. So if we buy 2. Oh wait,
The rum should last a year, unless they break into the stores.
They better not.
Tell you what, Graham will buy. I guess Graham will start like writing down an order, and then tomorrow we'll go to the shops and fill it.
Okay.
Hang on, how about beer and water barrels?
Beer is going to be half the price of rum, so it would be the 5 silver total or 5 gold total, 2 for the barrel, 3 for the actual beer.
Okay, and 10 gold total for the rum barrels.
Yep. And then it would be for water, you would be paying like 3 gold for barrel and like actual safe drinking water.
Okay.
Just buy more beer instead, guys.
Graham is going to get them multiples because he understands morale and also needing drinks to cope with being with other people. So Graham is going to write down 2 rum barrels, 3 beer barrels, 4 water barrels. They'll probably drink more water and beer than rum. Actually, yeah, I'm going to just go 2, 4, and 8.
Okay.
So that'll be 24 gold for water, plus the barrels, 20 gold for beer, and 20 gold for rum. It's kind of not a bad way to do it. 20 gold, 20 gold, and 24 gold.
Yeah, there you go.
It's reasonable.
Yeah, trying to keep the math a little simpler for all, including myself.
Yeah. We'll have to figure out officers. We can probably give ourselves officer statuses.
Yeah, Jackson butts in. Yeah, if you're promoting the actual 15 of your crew to officers, you're going to have to pay them more per day.
I want to be an officer.
So I'd recommend filling out the officer slots to the best of your ability.
Hank wants to be an officer.
Especially the captain. Don't put any of those idiots in as the captain. They will not know what to do.
Who would you recommend?
Hank. We'll vote for Hank for captain.
Dear gods, no.
I can be captain. Army.
I believe in you, Hank.
Jackson's like, that is a very offensive stereotype, and I don't appreciate it. Don't be sorry, be better, Hank.
I can be the best pirate captain there ever was. I'll sail the seas and see the sails.
You'll sail the 7 seas, be the best pirate wizard captain that ever did pirate wizard captain in this pirate wizard captain world.
That's true. And I can eat all the hands I want. Nobody can stop me.
Yeah, you
Which
give
reminds
the
me,
That would be a unique pirate gimmick.
You give the crew all the loot, you take all the hands.
Graham, you're in charge of getting stuff, supplies. Put in an order for hands. Let's say a score.
Do you know what a score is?
It's like 20?
Close enough. Anyway, I'm not doing that. We'll have plenty of people to kill.
Good. Well, who's the cap? Am I the captain though, or is that like for real? Because that'd be a good promotion.
Jackson, who should run this shit? This ship show?
Okay, I think it should be Otto. Should be captain. Captains are going to need to be very charismatic. You're going to have to really give the crew a lot of like support.
Baffle my bullshit. Got it.
Graham, I think you'd be a good quartermaster. Dealing with those supplies. You'd have to deal with navigation, too, but
Right.
you'd also be one of the officers. So a good, charismatic quartermaster is good, too. You definitely want to fill one of you guys out as a first mate.
What qualities are in a first mate that we want?
All right.
Tell me it's guile.
Well, the first mate is going to be the captain's assistant, in essence. The captain is going to be guy on top. First mate is going to be the one who's kind of relaying the orders from captain to crew and kind of acting as a jack of all trades. So he's going to have to be able to do a little bit of everything.
How good of a trait is dishonesty for this job?
You probably have to lie to him a bunch, so pretty good.
All right, I volunteer.
All right.
Give me timbers.
So you
That'll
got your
work.
captain, you got your quartermaster, you got your first mate. These are your three big officers. The other officer roles, important, but not in command important. So,
Okay.
you want your helmsman,
Boasters.
who's going to be steering the ship, going to be doing
I'm thinking
navigation.
Fern.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's a good thought because you're definitely going to need to be charting courses using the stars to guide the way. If you're good at like tracking and survival and all that, it's going to be definitely one you want to do. Your other roles, other officer positions, typically, well, I say optional, but maybe not optional. If you get my drift, you don't need them to run the ship, but having them is a good idea.
Yep.
Your gunner master, who's going to be organizing the way the guns are fired. You got your boatswain, the guy who can actually repair the ship, get the teams repairing ships, because your ship's going to get busted, especially fighting pirates. You get your surgeon, who's going to make sure that, if any of the crew get wounded, they can stay alive. And cannoneers, who are going to be basically in charge of each individual artillery piece, who are going to be getting the actual team together that's taking care of it to actually use it correctly. Oh, and the guys I hired, in an actual fight, if it comes down to the deck and you actually using swords, they're worthless. It is up to you to protect them.
I about figured.
Okay.
Well, so we need a gunner, a boatswain, surgeon, and cannoneers. I can do magic healing, but that's not quite the same as an actual physician.
Yeah, this is going to be a guy who's going to be able to get not only fix people up himself, but run teams able to take care of wounds.
I know where we can get some crew members, guys.
Is it a good place to get crew members?
Of course.
I'm not saying this seriously because Hank, I think, is sleeping again, right?
He is unconscious.
I'll be right back. Piffle goes out to the city and puts out the urchin sign. Summons the street urchin.
I look at Graham seriously, trying not to laugh, and I said, "What if Hank was our medical guy?"
He's just gonna eat their hands.
I know.
I'm awake. How many bone saws can I have? I require 5.
Do you have 5 appendages?
I can make 5 appendages.
Let's just stick to what you look like right now.
We can get you 5 bone saws, but you have to promise to only take hands off of enemies who are dead or otherwise okayed to be handless.
If you get shot in the leg, you just got to get the old leg chopped off so it don't go gangrenous. And then you get a peg leg. And if you chop off your arm, you get a hook.
A hook arm.
And
Any
if
suggestions
you lose
there,
an
Jason?
eye, you get an eye patch.
I reach into my pocket and I hand and I put an eye patch over Hank's wizard tricorn pirate hat thing.
Yeah, Hank has like 4 eyes, so he just puts it over one of the 4.
We give him
Wonderful.
4 eye patches.
There you go.
Yeah, blind Pete, they called me.
Blind P.
He is the
Blind
king of
Hank.
the rum, Bobby.
All right.
All right. As for Fiffle summons the urchins. I don't know how does Fiffle summon the urchins? Does he have like a whistle?
I'll be right back myself.
Okay.
Oh, it's a form of thieves' cant.
All right.
Except it can be accelerated. I don't know. Thieves can't see. You leave some graffiti and wait. Seems very slow. Piffle sends a message carried on the back of a rat
All right.
that's been trained for this purpose.
Eventually, some of the urchins come by carrying a rat with like a message written on it. Mr. Fiffle, is this your rat?
Of course, it's my rat. You've come to the right place. Now gather round.
Okay, he hands you back the rat.
Piffle places the rat on the ground. It's time for a life of adventure and profit. You need to be street urchins no more. What do you say to that?
What do you want us to do exactly? We've been getting
Time
rumors.
for a better life. A life as a sea urchin. That's right.
I do appreciate the pun.
Mr.
Mr. Fiffle, we're like 10.
Have been granted a writ of piracy, I think it's called.
Mr. Fiffle, we're all like 10 years old.
Yeah.
What do you want us to do exactly?
Oh, look. Did I say? I meant, look. You're going on a sailing adventure on a merchant ship. You're going to serve as crew, and you're going to be paid an honest wage. What do you say to that?
I mean, it does sound kind of exciting. I could be a pirate. What do you got, like swords and
I will
hats?
be right back.
Incredibly exciting. You do get swords and hats.
How many are coming along with you?
It'll be a merry crew of, what is it, 15?
You have the 15, yeah. Do you need 15 of us?
No. How many urchins do I need? Do I want urchins for every post? Kind of. Unless somebody can find a better gunner than Charlie here.
Well, I've never shot a gun before.
Oh, but you will, Charlie. You will. You'll be an expert by the end of the week, I promise you. Now, yeah, so I need what? How many positions were there?
So you got captain, first mate, quartermaster, and a helmsman. So you just need a gunner master, boatswain, surgeon, and you need cannoneers. Cannoneers for as many cannons as you have, which is currently 4.
Boatswain, something, surgeon, 4 cannoneers.
1, 2, 3.
That's 7? 7 people?
Yep.
I need 7 of the stoutest street children of Vaxval.
All right, we got 7 13-year-olds who are real good at this. They're actual teenagers.
Impressive. To have lived so long.
7 13, 14-year-old kids are called forth and they stand with you.
Congratulations, you're sailors. Report to the docks at the time.
What time?
Send you a message.
Okay.
Stand ready.
Okay. Is that a month from now? A week?
Soon. Days from now.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll be ready.
Maybe hours. So be ready.
We just keep an eye out for your messenger rat.
Yes. Exactly. Piffle slyly kind of looks around to see if the rat's still nearby.
Did you put the rat into your pocket?
No, he put it down.
The rat is not near you anymore.
Yeah. Well, yes. Look out for the messenger rat or something similar.
All right.
Some other
We'll be
whatever
ready,
magic
Mr.
creature
Mr.
gets
Fiffle.
a message on tomorrow.
And Fiffle, with that, get an inspiration point.
Hooray!
What is Fern up to?
I'm back.
What is?
I don't know.
You got to prepare for pirating.
Yeah, prepare to be a corsair in some way. A privateer. That's what it
Hello?
is.
Hello? Yep, we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Okay, you can hear me now?
Yes. Yep, we can hear you.
Okay. I don't know. I'm listening to these plans.
You need to put my tavern across the street.
I mean, yeah, I could expand the map out, but
Nah, no, I'm just kidding. It's
Do you want to be an officer aboard our totally legitimate, not pirate ship?
well, I think she's the
helmsman.
helmsman.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
You're already an
it's not a
officer.
helmsman. It's a helms bunny.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So you need to learn how to be a helms bunny
A helmsagon.
Okay.
in case you haven't sailed a sailing ship before.
I was gonna call Hank Frank.
Frank.
And
Hank,
also,
do you have do you have an educational book on pirating?
yeah, I probably have something.
What does it have?
He just reaches in. Here you go. It's a little slimy, but it's okay.
I will grab it and then I'll shake it off and then I'll
Why is it slimy?
go through it.
I'm slimy inside. Don't worry about it.
Look at him, Fern.
Okay, I just don't remember this being a problem before with books, so
There's a lot of problems. Fern, look at my hat. It's tricorn. It's got skull and bones on it. And it's got stars. Pretty sweet, huh?
fancy. Yeah, see mine too.
It's pretty nice. Doesn't have
It has holes for bunny ears.
It does, yes. And it's pretty convenient, yeah. Hey, Anna, why didn't you give me holes for my bunny ears and my hat? You didn't think about that, did you?
Do you have
Do you
bunny
have bunny
ears?
ears?
No, I don't. But I could maybe get them. You don't know.
Well, you know what? If you get them, we'll modify the hat for you, okay?
Okay. I will.
Besides,
I read the
remember,
book.
just think about all the hands you're gonna have once these pirates start dropping down dead.
Yeah.
You're gonna have so many hands, Hank, that you're gonna have more appendages than you know what to do with.
Well, anyway, I got you a pirate book. Enjoy. Or don't. I don't really care that much.
Thanks.
The book Hank hands to you is called Captain Death and Escape from Pirate Island. And the cover has a guy. He's looks like a captain. He's got the hat. His shirt is ripped open. He has a saber in one hand and a pistol in the other. He is in battle with what looks to be a pirate. You can see the skull and crossbones on the hat the guy is wearing. Behind them is a woman who is wearing some rather low-cut dress. You don't get the idea. It's maybe the most informative book.
Hank, is this a romance novel?
I don't know, maybe.
I think it is.
I'm gonna look at the book. I was like, Hank, is this the book that Kaido was reading in the Underdark?
Nah, he has some ways better stuff. That's sultry at best.
You know what? Whatever you say.
I don't know. I found it in the library here. There's way tons of books in there. You guys don't check them out. There's a book in there about how to do all sorts of stuff.
There's books on how to be a privateer.
Yeah, probably. I don't know. I didn't check in there. I saw the book with the fanciest cover and I took it. It looks pretty swell at me.
That is always good for you.
Yeah.
Fern's gonna go look for more books in the library.
Okay. If you're looking for pirate books, go with me an investigation, please.
Yeah. Find my stuff. Come on, sir. Investigation.
Investigation. Well, it takes you a little while. It takes you like an hour looking through, especially because a lot of the books aren't like particularly well marked. But you do eventually find a book. The cover is blank, but inside you do see it is called A Practical Guide to uh, Sailing. It gives you a lot of information about boats, terminology, ways things work. There's actually some illustrated diagrams inside. It's a relatively comprehensive book, if somewhat out of date. It does not make any mention of like black powder cannons or the like, but you suspect it's relatively useful.
Cool. I will show everyone and read the book.
All right. The book gives you lots of information about sailing, tells you how to like do navigation at sea, tells you about how to actually travel against the wind by tacking. It gives you all glossary that just gives a lot of information about the terms that you used on boats. And even has like a very quick and dirty guide to fishing for supplying yourself with food while you're out on a voyage.
Cool.
All right.
Graham's going to ask Jackson where they can find officers who aren't street urchins.
I don't know if did Fifield actually tell them what he recruited, or although I guess you probably kind
I
of
told them they were hired.
yeah.
Pibble goes back to the ranch and reports that he's hired the crew.
We already had a crew, Fiffle. We were looking for officers.
Yeah, I hired them.
What kind of officers did you find?
Well, they're natives of Vaxfall who are highly qualified,
They're not, are they?
extremely affordable. They are
Look
strict
at that.
children of Vaxfall. Noble and intelligent, cunning, and wise street children.
Were they street urchins again?
Yes, maybe there were some who might deem them such an insulting moniker.
You know that Clone Wars cartoon bit with General Grievous just kind of side-eyeing, and it looks like he's looking at the camera? Graham just kind of does that over at Jackson.
Jackson's like, I'm sorry, Graham, I've never heard of this Clone Wars cartoon.
Anyway,
Don't
Graham,
teach your knowledge.
All right, let's go. Let's go do it.
Jackson
Definitely.
just shrugs. You could do worse.
A couple can serve as understudies.
I gonna level with you, Graham. I don't think that the adult crew I hired are going to be taking orders from street urchins. That being said, you could use them as powder
They're
monkeys.
practically adults. They're like 13, 14 years old.
So what you can do is you can have them do like random
we'll hand out beards.
Okay. So yeah, you could actually have them manning like the artillery and supplying it with the ammo. Probably don't want him as an officer.
I think they'll be fine.
I would just go down to the dock, see if there's any like retired officers who want to get out of the house.
That's how you get a drunkard.
You just got to invest in the
Throw
crew.
himself overboard at the first sign of trouble.
You just got to invest in your crew, train them up. Before you know it, you'll have a well-oiled crew that knows exactly what to do.
That's why you invest in inexpensive, low-paid street urchins. You train them up to a well-oiled machine.
All right. Anyway, any officer you get, they're gonna cost you 5 gold a day per time in the ocean. So just keep that in mind.
5 gold a day?
And for an officer, yeah.
See,
and you'd just be glad you didn't hire anybody to be your like first mate or your captain, because that goes much higher.
The street urchins will work for 1 gold a day.
Okay. Well, it's going to be up to you to, it's going to be up to you to convince the crew to listen to street urchins. I'm not saying it's impossible.
I am.
All we need is discipline, Graham.
It's gonna be impossible to listen to kids.
I'd go with you, but managing the bar, and also I promised I would not go out and do piracy
I
anymore.
really don't want to do this.
And also, Jackson the pirate is dead. Jackson the bar manager is very much alive and would like to stay so.
That's fair. You know anybody from past travels who maybe left the business and might come back on orders from the Duke?
Whoa. Well, the Free Sailors Alliance does not particularly appreciate the orders of the Duke. That being said, maybe some people willing to go straight for some pardons would be. I'll tell you what. He pulls out a map and he puts it on the table. Here, I'm getting this for you already. This shows a few port of calls. It's a bit old from my memory. It's going to be a little bit old. It's going to cover some various ports of calls on the different islands you have off the coast of Vaxfall and beyond. They might not all be there anymore. They might have changed. Some are legal. A lot are not legal. But you could check at these places, see if you can recruit anybody there. You could head down to the dock and see if you can hire anybody down there who might be an officer. Look for anybody who's retired, maybe looking for some work, maybe down on their luck. But your quality in Vaxfall is going to be a little limited.
Well, the Duke already is doing us a bit of a favor with... where's Sathara? Right, prison.
Prison, yeah.
We have 2 urchins for the price of...
Right, I gotta pen her a letter, let her know we managed to get her sentence knocked down from her head off her shoulders.
Generally pretty accepted, so they just hanging her now, or what?
No, she's gonna be on the rock for 5 years. I'm seeing if I could get some kind of work release, but honestly, the Duke's already kind of doing us a favor. We had to deal with them some bitch dwarves.
Yeah. Hey, you got out of there without too much trouble with the dwarves. Consider it a plus on your side. Those guys are, I would call them very stubborn.
Yeah.
I'm sure Graham would call them something else.
I might know some people you can hire as officers. Are you familiar with the penny rats?
Yeah.
So they're one of the thieves guilds here. They might have some people who are looking for work on the high seas. You probably don't want to ask them what they're going to be doing in their downtime, but they wouldn't be half bad option.
Honestly, I don't think we care what they're doing in their off time as long as they come back to us.
They'll be more skilled, certainly, but also more likely to stab us in the back.
Well, you kind of are friends with the penny rats, right? You did work with their leader.
I don't know. I mean,
Otto's gonna look at Pippo.
The notion of friends is a very fluid,
Well, if they're on a boat with us, then they
Okay.
die when we die, so it's kind of in their best interest to not sink the thing.
It's not about sinking the boat.
Yeah, remember you were doing work with that Callista Sorrow lady? She's the head of the penny rats here in Vaxfall.
I remember.
Didn't Lucian try to hit on her?
I mean, who didn't Lucian try to hit on? You know you would come back and tell me stories, right? I don't want to hear cat stories. And you always do this pun about the cat house, which was not anything I cared about.
Well, we'll go take a look tomorrow, because we got to check the bounties, we got to buy the champagne and bless the ship, we got to name the ship, we got to buy the rum, got to look into rations.
If you give me the money, I can get you the the supplies for the rest of it.
The
Put the order
SS
in for the
Spicy
rum, get it delivered to the
Salamander.
ship. Do you
The
want the
SS Spicy,
cannons?
the SS Spicy Salamander, Graham.
Just makes a low noise in the back of his throat and says nothing.
Jackson, not sure what SS means, as steamships are not a real thing currently.
The Spicy Salamander. What did you name your ship, Jackson?
I gotta go back all the way to the start of my notes.
We're definitely naming this ship the Sea Bunny, right?
I feel like you have a very
Yeah.
bunny-centric view of the world.
The spicy sea bunny.
Okay, so this is ironic. The Jackson ship was the Bloody Hare.
See, Sea Bunny, great.
Starting to sound like fate now.
You know what? I'm fine with that.
Absolutely.
Plus, it'll be really funny when pirates get brought in by the sea bunny.
The spicy sea bunny. The sea bunny.
So is it like SEAC, SEE, as in you see the bunny? Or like the letter C?
God.
SEA, the sea.
Okay.
The sea bunny.
Are we really going with that? I was really joking.
If you wanted, I can get
You do understand that once a joke takes off, it is now canon.
I can get somebody to do livery to, get that on the boat.
Yeah, sure. If we're doing this, we might as well try to do it as right as possible for everything that's going to go wrong.
Is
All
this
right.
how ships are actually really named? Do we just sit around and have a discussion like this? I look at Jackson.
I just inherited the Bloody Hare. The old captain died. I don't know where he
And-
named it from. But, they're not really like the worst things in the world. You could come up with dumber names. So, heck, if anything, I think it's a pretty good name.
I like it.
You want me to get
Does
you
anybody-
you want me to put you an order in for sales with like a rabbit on it?
That
So
might be a little over much.
Maybe down the line we can get, instead of the skull and crossbones, it's a bunny skull and crossbones.
Well, the skull and crossbones are for pirates. I don't know if you want to necessarily.
We're
fly
privateers, not pirates. We're
Well, that's why it's
that. Yeah,
a
you're
bunny
all legal.
crossbones.
How about
Anyway.
a skull and crossbones, but it's a rabbit and it's 2 crossed carrots?
I will put in order for that for the sales.
Yeah.
So like a
Why
white
don't one of
rabbit.
the sails
with
just show Aurora pushing Kaido off a cliff?
Well, I don't know if I can get somebody to stitch in a realistic looking Kaido.
Just make a stick figure.
And Kaido's been down in the basement. He's been drinking pretty heavy. Is he okay?
Probably not.
To be fair, was he ever okay when he was sober?
Good point.
I'll take him when I get him.
Oh, also, Graham, your horse corpse is in the stable. Did you want to do something with that, or do you want me to bury it?
Just stack them up neat somewhere. When I need them, I can resurrect them again. Well, raise them again. Resurrecting isn't quite what goes on there.
I will put the bones somewhere.
I'll take care of that before we leave.
Okay. All right, well, I'll get all that sorted. You just got to give me the money. Sales, getting that done. Do you want it done quick, or do you want it done, like...
Let's do it. If we're doing it, let's do it right. Just get us an estimate before we commit to non-necessary expenses. Because we got to get the drink, we got to get the food.
Well, there's like a week of rations already on the ship.
Is that all we're going to need?
Probably not. You probably want more. But you could get to a port of call before it runs out, most likely. You can fish to get, extra food. If you really go light, you can just do the half rations.
No.
From our victims.
Wrangling this crowd is already hard enough when they're all fed. I wouldn't want to try to do it hungry.
Where the heck is Tamako? He would have been a good surgeon.
God.
This man
We,
has
we
no
wind up
heart.
with our surgeon is Chungus.
Aurora. Aurora is the surgeon.
I do it.
Anyway. Yeah, I mean, your dog thing is smart, but I don't know if people can she hold a sawbone?
Do we have one? Let's try.
Uh, he goes into his pack and he pulls like his old pirate gear and he pulls out like a kind of like dull looking sawbone, and he's got like the handle that's wood and it looks like it's been well worn. You can definitely see that it has that kind of like sheen of wood that's been used for a long time, and he hands it over to Aurora.
Yeah, Aurora's gonna take it. She's
In
gonna
her,
hold it in her mouth.
well, Dr. Aurora there looks pretty. No one's gonna want her to chop off their legs, and that's already a tough sell. But
Sorry, Aurora.
You know how you start a game and you need to fill in all the spots before you can go out and do like your first adventure? This is basically what we're doing right now.
yeah, you're Oregon trailing it.
Yeah,
You should buy a grandfather clock.
let's ford the river.
We kill like a bullet, but we can only carry 50 pounds back to the boat.
You just kill
Right.
20 bullets so like nobody else can kill them later on.
All right, so let's do whatever we need to do. Jackson's gonna get whatever's left done.
Yep, I will order all that all. I'm just gonna need the money. Give me the money. I will order you the food
All right.
and the rum.
Let's see. Graham's just gonna give him 100 gold.
All right. I cannot guarantee you will get any change back.
That's about what I figured.
Now, did you actually want those cannons? Because I got a guy who found some ones that were busted and meant to get sent back to the foundry to get repaired, but they were not.
What would we need to get them functional, and how much would they cost to get them as is?
It's going to be 400 apiece. There's two of them.
Oof.
Hey, trust me, if they were working, they cost you a lot more. But you get a gunsmith who can actually repair them, and you're looking at something real nice. You're really getting it from a discount.
Fair enough. I can't afford it.
400 apiece.
Mm-hmm.
Why did my thing close?
They'll foul up something good, but once you get them fixed, they're not half bad. By which I mean they're actually really good.
How much is getting them fixed?
Well, that's going to be up to the gunsmith. It's probably going to cost you parts and labor.
Well, we
But-
do know some gunsmiths up north. We can bring them with us if we can afford them now.
Yeah, if you can sneak by the blockade or like duck any of the rebel boats, yeah, no problem there. You do have a full authority to go and actually commit acts of privateering against them.
True.
Oh, also, you want to get ammo for it. And do you know some of these can hold some real fancy pieces of ammo? You get your standard 1 pound cannonballs, but they got something a little better. They got stuff that'll do all sorts of magic. I couldn't afford them, but if you look into it and you get a good artillery or artillerist, you can actually get some really good pieces of ammo there. Just something to keep in mind.
Well, I've got 100 more gold I could throw at the cannon, but it's
Do
gonna
we
have
want
to come
cannon?
down to you guys and your funds.
Do we want cannons?
I mean, they'll be better than the ballistae. Plus, we'll still also have the ballistae.
Fine. I was saving up for the tavern, but we can go with cannons.
Was it 400 per cannon?
Yep.
That's a lot. I have like 600 something gold.
Yeah, normally these things run you like 500 apiece.
Huh?
Yeah, these things aren't cheap. but they're pretty nice.
They're normally 500, but they're broken and we're getting them for 400.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they work. It's just that, sometimes they misfire. The powder doesn't ignite properly. Just something to keep in mind.
I'll pay for half a cannon.
Well, I will take 100 off mine.
I have 900 apparently.
Maybe you buy one of them outright, and between Otto and or Fiffle and or Graham.
Just finish off their cannon, and I'll buy one cannon outright.
All right. So take 300 off your sheet, Fern. I've got 7 gold left. Well, also some copper and silver.
There you go.
I took off 200.
Okay.
Oh, and also I charted you the actual path to the very first clue to get this, pirate treasure you're going to be hunting, which had been bequeathed to you by, the dead pirate captain. So it's about 3 days trip, kind of northeast of here.
Okay. You said it was 400, right? I'm just making sure I mapped this right.
Yeah, it's 400 a pop. So for the 2 he has, he can get you, 800 total.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, you're lucky. I'm not even taking my commission for this one. I want you guys to come home alive.
So do I.
All right. What's next on the agenda? I take out my my captain clipboard. Okay, Ian, what's next on the agenda? It's a joke. I don't have a clipboard.
Well, you've sort of sorted everything out. He basically just has to go and do the orders for tomorrow and get everything shipped to the ship. Shipped to your ship. And then you will be all ready.
All right. And then we can pick up the bounties on the way to the ship tomorrow.
Yep. And you also wanted to check with Professor Stones now.
Yep. Let's do that. We're getting a little tight on time, so.
What's my job on the ship again?
You're the driver.
What's it called?
The helmsman.
The helmsman.
Helms.
Helmsbutter.
Helmsbun.
And I can send you the actual document I'm utilizing that gives you the full breakdown of like the roles.
Okay. Whatever.
All right. And okay, so do everybody want to wait until tomorrow and you get the benefit of a long rest?
Yes, let's do this.
Oh, I will be right back again.
And then let's go see Snout Stone.
Okay. Well, you wake up tomorrow morning, bright and early. Get a kind of thin oatmeal for breakfast.
Who's cooking?
Johnny. Or Jimmy. Jimmy's cooking.
Oh.
Johnny, where's Johnny?
You guys have been gone a while. I had to learn how to cook.
So
Can I help him cook breakfast and teach him a few tricks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go for it.
You stocked up flour. You stocked up amounts like of salted meat, a little bit of sugar, kind of things you might need to like whip up something in the kitchen. Yeah, plenty of water too. So if you would like to cook anything and show Jimmy that, just go ahead and I think it's your cooking utensils, the cooking tools you have available, and you'll be able to do that. All right, well, you are able to whip up some rather nice muffins, actually. You get the flour, you get the water, you get the sugar. You're able to get the kind of nice muffin, very sweet. You get a little bit of syrup. You're going to drizzle that on top. And there's also some butter that you're able to put on there as well. Melts very nice on top because it's all warm. And you have a really pretty nice dozen of muffins. Jimmy is in awe at this as you just Gordon Ramsay this whole scenario.
Did she yell at the muffins? You stupid muffin! Fry faster!
No, she's just flying around the kitchen, showing him how to make muffins.
He watches and it doesn't write anything down, but you can see him absorbing the knowledge. He now knows how to make muffins.
Dear God.
Good job.
Level up, Jimmy.
Oh.
What is going on? You hear a knock at the door.
Ram will get it.
Nipple hides.
There is a courier at the door.
Howdy.
Ahoy.
Hello. I have a letter here for the Crossblades.
That's us.
Thank you.
Yeah, like a nice thick envelope.
Any seal on it?
Wax has been that's sealing it is no symbol on it.
Ram will open it up.
Okay. Inside is a letter for Crossblades.
I assume I thought it was gonna be a letter that accepted damn Graham's duel to the death.
Inside, the letter reads, Dear Crossblades, as per our agreement, I am providing the first information of fiendish activity that is within Viderheim. You will be happy to know, minimal at best, oddly unexpected, the small amount of it. None in Vaxfall.
Good to know.
At the bottom it states additional information concerning the matter pertaining to Otto is coming still. Be prepared for it to arrive shortly.
Hooray.
Courier will be able to find you no matter where you are.
Oh, that's reassuring.
Oh God. It's like
Interesting.
what was it? Was it like Earthbound where just like the delivery guy just found you in the middle of a dungeon or anything?
Yeah, probably. But yes, the letter does stand out to you that it mentions that the fiendish activity in Viderheim is little to nothing, and the letter mentions that as very odd and unexpected.
Hmm.
But hey, maybe it's for the best.
Barely.
Jackson takes the gold and all right. So I'm getting rations. I'm getting drink. I'm getting the cannons you wanted. You wanted both.
Yeah,
Yep.
we gave I think we deducted enough money for both.
All right. And then I got a few friends who can take care of the livery for the ship, the Sea Bunny. And I know a couple of mages who will be able to get the print on the sail, no problem.
Cool.
So you're going to have yourself a bunny skull, and instead of crossbones, will be carrots.
Oh God. Instead of crossblades, the cross carrots.
All right.
The cross carrots adventuring guild is going to sea.
I'll get you something good. That should be delivered by. I probably don't need that long for it. I mean, yeah, it'll be done before lunch if I can get up right now.
All right, let's do that. We're gonna go see Stone Snout, right? Right.
All right. You head to see Stone Snout.
Yes.
Okay.
I think he had a date too, so we can ask him how about his date.
Yes. You arrive at the shop. You've been there several times now. Nice nondescript, blacked out, can't see inside. You head in. The satyr woman is there with a cup of coffee.
I wave at the satyr woman excitedly and energetic like she's gonna do to us. Hopefully the coffee doesn't fly over her.
She just takes a sip. Hello. Haven't had any morning brew yet.
It's okay.
But once I do
I took care of the energetic wave for you today.
Thank you. Once it kicks in, I'll be my normal self. Bright and early. Do you want me to get the professor for you?
Yes, please.
All right. She rings a little bell. Professor, we got people. Professor Stonesnout comes out dressed very nicely, as he always does. Tips the hat. Greetings, everyone. I'm so happy to see you again.
Greetings, Professor. How did your day go?
Quite well, thank you for asking.
It's always good to hear. You're quite the charismatic fellow.
I like to think so, yes. Had some business to attend to, if I recall correctly.
Yes, we did.
Mr. Otto, Sir Otto, can I interest you in that specialized plate mail I've come across? It's a most interesting piece, and I'm excited to see its properties in action.
How's it doing the water?
I forgot what we decided on this a long time ago. It was like a month and a half ago.
It was specifically, he was giving you a discount on plate because it was magic, and he doesn't know what it does. He wants you to test it out for him.
I thought he had one thing he had discovered on it. I don't remember though.
Well, I'm aware that it's magic in nature, but the actual properties of it I have yet to ascertain.
You know what? Let's do it.
Very good, very good. That will run you 1,000 gold.
Okay, I give him 1,000 gold.
How much gold does Otto have anyway?
Like 400 now.
All right. Wonderful. It's a most fantastic piece. Now, you will in fact need to attune to it. However, once you do, it will provide an extremely excellent amount of protection. I'd also be much appreciative if you could write down what it does exactly. This piece came to me from a more, how should we say, unusual source. I'd be interested in acquiring more from him if it proves to be a rather more exciting piece.
Okay, so out of character. So once I put this on him, are you just gonna start feeling what the magical properties are?
Just take a look. Yeah, you are going to have to attune to it first.
All right. How long is that gonna take?
It takes an hour.
Sure. Let's do it right here, Mr. Professor Stonesnout. Let's find out together.
Excellent, most excellent. He brings out the armor. It is a kind of shiny black chitin, and you can see that it looks like it has these strange channels running through it. It kind of looks like veins. You're not really sure. But it does require you to
Attune to it.
Yeah, he has his assistant go to help you actually put it on.
Okay.
Kind of, I don't know. It feels like armor.
Yeah.
Very good, very good. You simply must sit and then contemplate, and the item will attune to you.
I will do this.
Now,
This is my first attunement, right?
Maybe it makes you float, but if you test that and you're wrong, you'll die.
Well, yeah, I'm cross-legged, right? I'm sitting cross-legged, and I'm just doing the monk hum, and I'm levitating right in front of you.
interesting. Anyway, you've brought me a selection of pieces that I have done my best to get additional information on. Now, dragon scales are very interesting. That can be turned into an armor. That can be turned into a shield. I would not recommend turning it into a cloak. Dragon scales, you see, are not like your typical scales on a lizard, but they're actually more similar to metal. And wearing a metal cloak is a poor idea.
I would agree with that.
For the mithril, I can create mithril armor, or at least have somebody do it on my behalf, or mithril weapons, which I think might benefit you as well. Mithril armor is fantastic because it is lightweight, very easy to wear, very easy to use. The weapons are also fantastic. They are half the weight they would typically be, and you'll find that they maintain an edge much keener than a typical sword would. This may benefit your Aragon friend or your Halfling friend. Larger weapons can be created because they're half the weight. They can use them without causing a certain trouble that it typically would.
Want a mithril warhammer?
Oh, I would suggest maybe something even greater, like a metal great hammer. Although that being said, you would in fact need the training to be able to use an item of that nature.
I'm just picturing Fiffle running up to a guy instead of with a short sword or a bow, just like a mithril warhammer, and just like smashing him in the head.
Fiddle can use a warhammer. I mean, I don't think he's actually trained in martial weapons, but a warhammer is not large enough to cause trouble for Fiffle. This is something like a great sword or a great axe.
Yeah, I don't have a good sense of different hammers, but yeah, something obnoxiously large. Great axe. That sounds fun.
The other thing is, against creatures that are harmed by silver, mithril would count for that. It would also be able to ignore certain properties of creatures that would ignore and perhaps resist the effects of a weapon. You may have encountered creatures that resist the damage done by swords and hammers. Mithril will be able to bypass that specific resistance.
That good. I like to harm things.
Now,
It may not be a bad idea to get some lighter armor, given we're about to be out on the sea.
Oh, yes, I would recommend against falling into the ocean wearing heavy armor.
Good
It
plan.
has a tendency to cause one to drown. Although, if you like, I can provide you some water-breathing scrolls, water-breathing potions.
Wouldn't be a bad idea, but
Sounds
might be a little rich for our blood.
Keep it in mind. Anyway, I've also been investigating these pieces, these tablets you've brought to me. These are actually quite interesting. Initially, I suspected them to be Orwellian in nature. However, I do believe they are actually Orwellian copies of earlier magic, possibly relating to the Elven Kingdom. Are you familiar with the history of the Elven Kingdom?
Can't say as I am.
Graham, make a history check.
I will make a history check.
All right. We had actually found some information concerning Elven Kingdoms on your trips. They existed about 3,000 years ago is about when they disappeared. But it was a very magically powerful kingdom. They had sent out a number of colonies and had set up little way stations. The king had a number of very impressive like battle mages who were skilled with both magic and arms, and they just disappeared one day, and nobody knows what happens to them, but some of the ruins still exist. You had passed a few of them, but during the kind of great calamity that occurred, the elves either scattered and became the current day elves, or they went underground, or the people who actually lived in the kingdoms and not just on the outskirts just kind of wound up disappearing into nothingness. Nobody knows what happened to them. Oh. Anyway, yes. The magic upon these tablets is beyond my area of expertise. I would need to send them off to the magic school for a more thorough examination. Would you like me to take care of that? I can do it free of charge, as I imagine the magic upon them is going to prove to be a little bit more exciting for myself.
Well, no objections here.
Wonderful. I've heard a tale that you were able to open up the capability of traveling from Vaxval to Talva very quickly. I'll make note to have these sent with one of the daily transitions. I have
Thank-
certain contacts within the sea tower itself. Well, is there anything else you wished for me? Did you wish me to send the mithril to be worked? The smiths I've lined up are very excited to start.
What do we want made out of the mithril?
Now, this is exciting. You can create one set of armor or 2 weapons with the amount you have.
I wouldn't say no to the armor, but
What type of armor? Like, I think we need to definitely AC up a little bit on like Fern and Fiffle.
all right.
That's my personal thought. I don't know about weapons.
It doesn't provide that much additional armor, as in it doesn't provide any additional armor, but what it does is it's lightweight. Armor made from mithril is quieter, easier to maintain your constitution with. In essence, if you have any trouble with stealth, you will no longer have that disability that comes with wearing your standard armor.
That would be for Graham then, because I bought this one that we're waiting to see the attunement on.
Yeah.
And the weapons would be
Ah, yes. So mithril weapons, they would weigh half as much as your typical one. They count as silvered for the purpose of overcoming certain enemy resistances, and they also ignore certain resistances that certain enemies have against damage done to them by the weapons. I'm sure you've encountered any of somebody who, if you tried to slash them with a sword, would simply seem to ignore a good portion of the damage. I can have the smiths start working it right away.
that's so 2 weapons. What do we think? I'm thinking personally the weapons might be good. Thoughts, concerns, opinions?
Yeah, Otto, you're feeling kind of itchy throughout your body.
Yeah, figures. This thing is making me itch.
Fascinating. Can you describe the sensation to me?
Uh,
It's actually a little painful because it sort of feels like something's kind of sticking into you, like
it,
all over your skin.
it feels like it's like piercing me. I guess like thorns, you would say, Ian?
You would think more like mosquitoes, kind of like more like horseflies, really, the way it's like stabbing you.
Okay, I'll describe the thing to him.
A most fascinating sensation. He goes and he kind of starts examining the armor. Now that it's tuned to, I can get a much better idea of it. This isn't your typical plate. It's actually going to provide you an additional. He describes what is mechanically a +1 to your AC, beyond the
Okay.
typical 18.
Okay, so
But it's cursed to make you itch all the time. Is that
He also describes that it gives you resistance to necrotic, poison, and psychic damage.
whoa? Good stuff.
I don't even know where to put this.
Fascinating, fascinating. This armor seems to be drawing from your blood. Very exciting. Very exciting indeed.
It's only his blood.
Oh no, don't worry. It simply feeds off of your friend Otto here. I don't think you could remove this armor easily.
No,
It's
Well, that's why you got a discount on it, isn't it?
there's a discount.
He goes and he examines it more. You see him pull out some like small magic goggles and he puts it on and he examines it. Yes. You are going to need to feed this armor some of your blood every day to keep it sated. And it will not come off easily.
Sorry, Otto.
I imagine a remove curse spell would be able to take it off of you.
I'll
But
take
I
care
just
of
want-
those.
I just want you to know my face right now. It's like this biggest shit eating. I knew it.
Some might
So what is
consider
this thing? Good.
You remove curse every night before bed, and it'll be fine.
Yes. Immediately after you finish any long rest, you have to feed half of your remaining hit dice to the armor or take a level of exhaustion. Some might say that the upsides outweigh the downsides. Don't
What is this
consider
called?
living plate armor.
For the record, Graham does not have particularly amazing armor. He's got splint right now instead of plate. Mithril plate would be nice, but if people want to use that mithril for either other armor or other weapons, fine.
If you'd like, Mr. Graham, I could in fact order a second piece of this living armor.
That's all right.
Do keep it in mind.
Studded leather +1s. Peace.
I can't find this here in the
Rogue.
compendium.
I'll send you the stats.
Yeah, we can do that after. Okay. So, do you want my splint mail of poison resistance, Mr. Grant?
Depends on what we do with the mithril, I guess.
I'm fine with whatever.
Do Fiffle or Fern want like medium armor without the stealth penalties? Or whatever kind of armor they wear.
But the way I do combat, like I usually can just avoid damage, but there are those times when I do get squashed. On the other hand, like halfling with a great axe sounds hilarious, and then we can do two things. We do that. What's your armor situation there, Fern? Like I have okay armor anyway.
I think I just have like leather medium armor. I don't remember. It's been long.
What's your armor class?
15.
15?
Yeah.
Yeah, sounds like you hit a bonus from something.
All right, you guys can have the mithril, whatever.
I don't see this in there, so I just think I just gotta add it manually.
Yeah, it's not going to be the compendium, but I'll send you the stats so you have it available.
Okay, what's... I think the weight matters, because we're not super strict on that.
It weighs the same as regular plate, 65 pounds.
65? Okay. Well, maybe I can... Come on. God, dang it. I'm trying to edit, but it's like not letting me.
Well then, is there any further thing I can assist you with? If you decide what you wish to do with the mithril, simply send a messenger and I will take care of it. The Smiths are eager to get started on it. They haven't had a chance to work with mithril in quite a long time.
We decided on weapons.
All right,
Yeah.
so living... What is it? Living plate armor?
Yep. Oh, did you decide what you wanted on for the dragon scales? We can turn it into armor. We can turn it into a shield. All sorts of things.
What kind of armor and what kind of shield could we make with it?
Let's see here. Well, you can turn it into a dragon scale mail, a fine medium armor that I think you would appreciate. It gives a little extra protection while maintaining many of the advantages that comes with it. And you bring green dragon scales.
Highly fashionable.
So what that would allow you to do is resist damage from poison. And you could actually focus your senses to try and find any green dragon within 30 miles of yourself. Once a day, of course.
What if we made a shield with it?
Let's see here. Alright, find the actual stats on that bad boy. Yes, so if you create a shield with this, you will get... He describes mechanically +1 to your shield and poison resistance.
What was I getting? Necrotic, psychotic, and on the armor?
Yep, hold on 1 second.
I'm sorry. It's just like I figured out how to freaking do this again.
Alright, hold on 1 second, let me... how did I do this? Yeah, I'll just put the whole thing in, it doesn't matter that much. There you go.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm trying to send it as a whisper, but I guess it doesn't really matter.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So we've got the mithril and we've got the dragon scales. Basically armor or weapons. If you guys want, I'll do the shield with the dragon scales, and then you guys can figure out what you want to do with the mithril. Just for the sake of expedience.
Sure. Redux sounds hilarious, but...
Well, we are rapidly approaching 9, so think about what you want to do with the mithril, what you want to do with the dragon scales, and next time, on Tuesday of next week, we can decide. You can let me know what you want, and we'll get that sorted.
Assuming I get the dragon scales, I'll do the dragon scale shield.
Okay?
Can you make a bow out of mithril?
Yes.
Make it fancified somehow?
Yep, you can make a bow out of mithril. If you wanted, you could do something like a longbow. Fern has a like a custom longbow that only she can use.
And guns.
And guns.
Yes.
Might be into a mithril bow. Sounds pretty dope.
If you could either make like 2 weapons, or you could do 1 weapon and give one of us another one. Graham can deal magic damage, but does also do a lot of bonking. So it's up to you on that. I'm happy with just the shield, but I guess we can figure out the logistics later because I got to drop off.
Okay.
All right. So yeah, we will stop here and we'll pick this up next week.
Sure.
Farewell.